pork rinds, Wiener sausages, spicy pork rinds, mystery meat sandwiches.
Try it. Involved some of my friends who are writers, and they've reached out. And so, Bob, thank you, Bob, so much for assembling this writing team, this crack team of writers to come up with.
Oh, Harry, I just love the painting you did when we were in the Caribbean. It was just perfect.
Tu sens, je suis maintenant de peinture. Je suis bleu et je suis la peinture. Les touristes sont venus à mon
tacky, and we laughed at it. The dog was the sun and the moon to her, and when it went away, she had the picture. The woman was old, and maybe she was crazy. Maybe she had some tragic, i.e. explanatory past, or maybe she didn't. The old woman truly loved the dog.
California. Her works are pop Americana based and play with the themes of urban legend, kids, toys, and portraiture. So we'll just start the interview.
It was cool for me to collect calls, so I couldn't pass up the free phone-in.
Yes. In 1993, you did a show in Vancouver called All Titans Must Die. This was a show fueled by humanizing pop culture icons. Could you please elaborate on the statement behind the show?
I thought it'd be funny to see Donald Duck.
Auction for a benefit, so you'll be able to buy it back if you want.
What?
It's for a very good cause.
Yeah, but I want it back. It's my property. I should have it back. It has a lot of meaning for me. Mickey D is a celebration of machismo. The simplistic portraiture of Ronald and Grimace in the game.
September 1928. An old cattle rancher by the name of Melvin Cook finds some bones rattling around his land outside of Hallelujah. He shows them off to a nomadic encyclopedia salesman who trades Cook A through C for the skull. This he ships back east to a cousin who works as a popcorn vendor at the Smithsonian Museum. March 1929. Cook finds himself mustache deep in scientists. Turns out his ranch is straddling an ancient quarry filled with 3 tons of dead horses. That doesn't spell retirement to a rancher, but charging folk a nickel apiece to tour his land does. Cook learns his bones belong to a breed of dead horse that predates any other dead horse in known history. During its better days, the horse was the size of a modern plain zebra. April 28, 1929. As the discoverer of this brand new type of forever dead horse, Cook is given the honor of naming it. A ceremony is held during Bannock County Fair days. It is well attended, someone brings pie. Cook christens the horse Roberta on account of it and his wife share the same set of teeth. Newspaper clippings from the ceremony captured the resemblance, along with Roberta Cook's displeasure at the comparison. Scientists elect to call the horse Equus roberticus. May 1929. To avoid confusion while horse-faced Roberta Cook is still alive, the skeleton becomes known as the Hallelujah Horse. Cook renames his ranch the Hallelujah Horse Ranch. Tourism in the area increases by 300%. To celebrate, Cook orders books D through Z and pays in nickels. July 12, 1929. The town of Hallelujah takes offense to the Hallelujah Horse and the man it rode in on. Residents barricade the road to Cook's ranch. They erect a pulpit and explain to confused visitors that Roberta is a fraud. 3 tons of horse couldn't have died off since last Tuesday without someone noticing. To sweeten everyone's disappointment, they offer free lemonade. August 10th, 1929. With backing from the Smithsonian Museum, Cook petitions the U.S. government to have his ranch declared a national park. February 8th, 1930. Hallelujah Horse Ranch becomes a protected national park. The pulpit gives way to pavement, fees jump to 25 cents for public tours and $1 a head for group tours. November 7th, 1930. Hallelujah officially changes its name to exclamation point. The town is discreetly labeled as exclamation point on all state maps from 1931 onwards. Road signs to Hallelujah are replaced with exclamation point, next left. This makes travelers nervous. They try to avoid exclamation point and become lost. Their children practice resenting them. Everyone vows to never show an interest in history again. Tourism declines by 900%. January 5th, 1931. The Encyclopedia Britannica releases its 14th edition, complete with a short bio on Roberticus equus and a photograph of the Robertas together. Cook's collection is now outdated to the point where much of its information is technically misinformation. He chooses not to renew. That's all. Good on it. It's wonderful.
Around the sun creates its shadow. It is morning when everything emerges, hungry, brave, reaching out. I imagine the consciousness of a cat. Is a cat ever minding its own business?
What we know. Although his family's wealth and property were confiscated by the U.S. government, Matsudaira nevertheless swore allegiance to that same government, landing on the shores of an Italian town that was old when Trajan founded it in the 2nd century. It was June 10th, 1944. We know that Matsudaira might have been lucky a month later in Livorno, when in a foxhole in the gray dawn, his dreams were interrupted by the sound of German artillery pounding the hillside. He thought he had a stomach ache. He went to the hospital where he stayed.
Born Katrina Bell Behar, 1951 to 1984. The youngest daughter of Boston toy magnate James Behar, Katerina Bell Behar first displayed some talent for drawing and painting while attending Vermont's prestigious Dane School for Girls as a full-time boarder, when the quiet teenager startled Boston society by refusing to wed brewing magnate Charles Doty in what relatives would later concede was little more than arranged marriage. A chronic inebriate, Doherty was some 40 years her senior. Katrina was disowned by her parents. Less than 2 years after her formal coming out, Behar severed all ties to family and began a new life in nearby Provincetown, Massachusetts. Behar's floundering career as a graphic artist got an unexpected boost in 1972 when a roommate introduced her to Lionel Mitchell, a publisher of paperback erotica and all-male skin rags. Mitchell employed Behar to provide illustrations for his myriad titles. Her work, typically rendered in pencil, appeared on the covers and in the pages of over 200 titles for such imprints as Jock, HIS, Stud, and First Hand. To further distance herself from her wealthy lineage, she altered her surname with unusual consequences. Most readers, if they took any notice at all, assumed the artist known as Bear was a hirsute, heavy-set gay man. Bear is still renowned amongst connoisseurs for her exquisitely contoured male posteriors, hence her nickname Booty. While her phalluses are considered marginal at best, most gay men of the post-Stonewall, pre-AIDS era can spot a bare butt at 20 paces. Friends have speculated that this fixation was, in part, a reaction to her own physique. Tall, slender, and modestly proportioned, Behar was known to joke that she had a cracker ass. Beach Scene is one of several acrylics commissioned by Mitchell as a permanent piece to hang in the Newbury Street Art Gallery that served as a front for his illegal activities. Like its companions, the work appears to be extrapolated from one or more of her illustrations. The tableau on the cover of HIS 1974 bestseller Study Hall Circle Jerk features two robust males nearly identical to those in the foreground of Beach Scene, as well as the same swimsuit-clad youths seen in the middle distance, albeit all huddled in closer formation and with no female attendants. In 1984, while riding her bicycle to the beach, Behar was struck by a visiting motorist. She died 3 days later without having regained consciousness as a consequence of her injuries. Before news of her death and her dubious career reached her family, locals got word to Mitchell, who secreted the painting in his summer home. After his death in 1998, Beach Scene was put up for auction as part of his estate. It was purchased by the artist's nephew, Robert Behar, who prominently displayed it in the entryway of his popular South End nightclub, Rehab, until he lost his lease in 2007.